Well, hello again. This is Jeffrey Cranford with Links, and again, back with Tracy Hanson. And Tracy, we're going to talk a little bit more about this idea of pressing on, but we're going to start with something, and we're going to make this little, we're going to draw this little comparison with what Paul, number one, told the Corinthians. Listen to his sentiment here. Listen to Paul's heart here in 1 Corinthians chapter 3. And verse 1, it says, "And brothers, I couldn't speak to you as to spiritual men, but as to men of flesh, as to babes in Christ. I had to give you milk to drink, not solid food. You weren't even able to receive it. Indeed, now you're still not able to receive it." Now, I know in my life, both as a player and as a teacher, is you see somebody, whether it's in a pro-am or somebody that you're working with, and you'd love to get into the deeper nuances of the game,
right,
and talk about impact or swing path and some of those different kind of things. But what happens is, you're looking at their grip, and they've got a contorted, crazy, grip, and their right hand's way underneath, or too strong, too weak, or their posture's bad, or I think that, and you're like, man, I would love to give you something deeper, but we can't go to C, D, E unless we first cover the basics. I was thinking about, who was your first teacher?
Randy Henry in Northern Idaho was my first teacher.
And did he work hard on these fundamentals in terms of grip, posture, alignment, blah, blah, blah? Nobody wants to, it's just kind of dull. You want to get out there and hit it.
Yeah, we worked a lot on that. And every time I had a lesson, we went back to check, what's my alignment, what's my ball position, what is my grip doing, where's my balance, what's my posture doing?
Right.
You check, when you're learning the game, you check that constantly.
You go out on a tour event, LPGA or regular PGA Tour event, you're going to see these alignment sticks.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a rarity that you'll see somebody hitting balls unless they're just warming up without some kind of alignment stick. Why? Because it's so easy to get off, right?
Right. I always tell amateurs that I play with that golf is a game of extremes, swinging the pendulum. So you get balance, you get good alignment, you get good setup, but you keep working on it, and then all of a sudden you get out of balance, and so you got to swing back to balance, and then you're going to. And when I play in pro-ams, they're like, help me, give me a swing tip, but I really always go back to the basics.
Yeah. Nobody wants to hear that.
Right.
If you're playing in a pro-am and you're playing with somebody and say, hey, Tracy, give me a little insight here, they never want to hear, well, let's look at your grip. They want, get over here or try this little thing or something really kind of cool and dynamic and immediate, kind of like 6-minute abs. I want abs now. They want it now, and they don't like they don't like to hear that. Just go back a little bit at a time, a little bit of grip. One of the most astounding things I've ever heard in my life. This was recently on Golf Channel. It was maybe a year ago. They were talking again to Bernhard Langer. By the way, Bernhard Langer is a Links guy and has been, and we've been very involved with Bernhard through the years, and he supported us. But what happens is Bernhard, when he was 17, he turned pro, and extremely strong grip. And so they came to him and they said, okay, Bernhard, you need to change your grip. And he says, when I changed my grip, I couldn't play at all. So I determined to change only a German could think like this. I changed my grip 1/8 of an inch, and just recently I finally got a neutral grip. After an entire career, he finally finished his grip change. Now, in some ways that's true. It is a little bit at a time. You don't have to go to seminary, but if you can get up tomorrow and get in the Word, spend some time with Jesus, talking to Him, it's impactful, isn't it? Don't you see that?
Yeah, for me, I was just sharing with a friend this morning that for me it's about being still. I don't do that very well. And so I've been trying to every day spend some time reading the Word, praying, and just being still and quiet and letting the Lord talk back to me. And letting me hear His voice. But for me, it takes getting still, and I am not very good at that.
No, we'd much rather go to a big conference, where a big speaker comes, or, get something really exciting. That's not the progress you make. The progress you make, similarly to golf, is on the back of the range, early in the morning, working on your fundamentals. It's the same thing in the spiritual life. The deep progress you'll make will be in those early morning hours when you wake up, spending a little time in the Word, even if it's only 5 minutes. Even if you don't understand it, just commit to it. Spend a little time in prayer. And again, because you want to press on to maturity. There's some deep desire. I don't want to keep being the same person I am. I want to be more like Jesus.
Right.
So, let's talk a little bit more about this as the series continues.